Hi angels, welcome back to my channel. It is officially 2026, which is so crazy. It feels like 2025 just flew by so quickly. Last year consisted of many ups and downs, but if there's one thing that I'm thankful for, it's definitely all of the books that I got to read. So today I'm going to be telling you about all of the books that I read, and hopefully it'll convince you to read at least one. The Name Drop by Susan Lee is the first book that I've finished in 2025. Our main characters of this book are Jessica Lee and Elijah Reed. So Jessica is just your normal, typical, average teenage girl who gets a job working at a tech company over the summer in New York City. On the other hand, Elijah happens to be the son of the CEO of that tech company who also gets a job there over the summer. However, things seem to be off in both of their lives, starting with the plane ride to New York City. Jessica ends up in first class, even though her family kind of can't afford it, and Elijah ends up riding in economy. Even their living and working arrangements seem to be swapped. Eventually, Jessica and Elijah realize that they both have the same Korean name that all of their documents and stuff are under. That's basically why everything is mixed up and their lives are basically swapped. Elijah and Jessica decide that they're going to continue staying swapped for the rest of the summer. I want to say that the concept of them having the same name and having their lives be swapped, I just think that that's such a good idea. I think that's so clever, and I think it worked really well in this book. It's also super thin, if you can't tell, so it was a pretty fast read for me, pretty easy to get through, pretty fun to read. There are also themes of gender equality within workplaces in this book. The tech company is owned by a very traditional Korean man, and a lot of the values of the company are kind of outdated, or at least not very inclusive or kind to the people working there. Also, one thing that
I don't want to say that it annoyed me, because it didn't really annoy me, but it kind of
I don't know. And basically, I don't want to say that it was insta love, because I feel like their relationship did have development. It's just that when they first meet each other, there's already initial attraction, they both are attracted to each other. But I forgot to mention, this book is dual POV, so sometimes when it's in Elijah's POV, he'll be talking about Jessica and saying oh, she's so cute, she's so adorable, but she's not my type. What? How is she cute and adorable to you, but she's not your type? But anyway, this book was really good, and it was a 4-star read for me. The next books that I read are This Time It's Real by Anne Liang, Never Thought I'd End Up Here by Anne Liang, and I Hope This Finds You by Anne Liang. So I'm not gonna get into too much detail about these books because I did make a video already about all of the Anne Liang books that I've read so far. So if you want, you can give that a watch. But This Time It's Real, I gave 5 stars. Never Thought I'd End Up Here, I gave 4 stars. And I Hope This Finds You by Anne Liang, I also gave 4 stars. I love Anne Liang's writing style so much. It's so descriptive and so beautiful. She's my favorite author. And the cover on her books, the cover art is so pretty. Look at this. This is so pretty. The next book that I read is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. The main characters of this book are Liz Buxbaum and Wes Bennett. Liz Buxbaum is a hopeless romantic who spent her entire childhood watching rom-coms with her mom. In Liz's senior year of high school, her childhood crush, Michael, moves back to town. And of course, Liz makes it her life's mission to get this guy to go to prom with her. Only this plan won't work without the help of her annoying next-door neighbor, Wes Bennett. This book is very lighthearted and cute, but it also deals with themes of grief and death. Liz's mom died when she was really young, and it's not a spoiler because it's in the first few pages of the book, okay? So it's not a spoiler, okay. And that's one of the main themes of the book. So Wes is one of my favorite book boyfriends. I love his personality and his sarcasm and his humor. He's just great. He's in second place to Cass' song from This Time It's Real. I just want to say it got tiny bit stressful, at least for me, towards the end of the book. I don't want to really explain because I don't want to give too much away, but at the end of the day, this was a really good book. I loved it. I enjoyed it so much, and I gave it 5 stars. Of course, I couldn't read better than the movies without reading Nothing Like the Movies, which I literally bought impulsively right after I finished reading Better Than the Movies. So we have the same main characters, Liz and Wes, and this book takes place 2 years after Liz and Wes break up due to a series of tragic events. Now they're attending the same college and Wes tries his best to win Liz back. However, Liz wants absolutely nothing to do with him and might even have someone else that she's seeing. This is dual POV. Better Than the Movies is only in Liz's perspective. This book also deals with themes of death and grief. To be honest, my experience reading this book was not the best because I did accidentally put myself into a reading slump in the process of reading this. Like the first half of the book is a bit slow paced. It does take a while for the actual action and main plot of the book to get started, if that makes any sense. But the book itself is really good and I gave it 4 stars. And we have another Lynn Painter book, The Do-Over. The main characters of this book are Emily Hornby and Nick Stark. So basically, Emily has the worst Valentine's Day imaginable. She literally finds her boyfriend cheating on her on Valentine's Day. But every day, the day comes to an end eventually. She goes to sleep and then she wakes up and then she's literally reliving the same day again. And it keeps happening over and over again. And every day she keeps finding herself running into this guy named Nick. This book is the shortest book that I read this year. Pretty fast paced but not rushed. A light, easy read for me. Very cute, fun to read, and I was hooked the entire time. I think it's a pretty fun concept, especially for a YA novel. I feel like Repeating Days, to me at least, sounds more like a fantasy or sci-fi type of book, but using it this kind of book is a really good concept and I really liked it. And I gave it 4 stars. And last, but most certainly not least, the final book of 2025 that I read is My Life with the Walter Boys. So our main characters are Jackie Howard, Cole Walter, and Alex Walter. Jackie Howard is a teenager from Manhattan, New York, who has just lost her family to a car accident. Fortunately, Jackie's late mother's best friend, Catherine, and her husband George are willing to take her in. Unfortunately, they have 11 sons. So Jackie has no choice but to leave behind her city life to live in Colorado with Catherine and her family, and she finds herself in a love triangle with 2 of Catherine's sons. So I did watch the show before I read the book, and I do want to say many of the plot points that were kind of changed a bit in the show I liked better in the book. Jackie and Alex's relationship overall I liked better in the book because I think their dynamic made more sense. In the show, to me at least, it just felt a bit messy. I think the show really amps up the love triangle-ness, if that makes any sense. But I do like the characters in the show a bit more. This book is adapted from the Wattpad series by Ali Novak of the same name. So since it was a Wattpad series and it was written when Wattpad was super popular, I feel some of the character traits of Cole Walter are a bit I want to say maybe not outdated, but they did feel a bit creepy or predatorial, and not in in the lightest, most romantic way possible. No. But I am Team Cole in every universe, in the book and in the show. I just wish that Jackie and Cole's relationship just had a little bit more development in the book, because I get that in the book they try to have Jackie have relationship and development with all of the Walter family, and the family has 11 sons. There were scenes between Jackie and Cole, but I feel there could have been a bit more. Maybe I'm just gonna have to read the sequel because, yeah. Anyway, it was a good book. I did really like it. I gave it 3 stars. I do like the show just a tad bit better, but gotta give credit where credit's due. I love Ali Novak. I love My Life with the Walter Boys. Okay. That's it. Okay, so that is gonna be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment any suggestions that you have for shows or movies or books that you would like to see me talk about on this channel. I hope to see you all in the next video. Jesus loves you so much. Bye, angels! Back to posting after 70,000 light years. Hi everybody. So excited to yap about all of these books. I guess I already did the yapping. I hope that I explained the characters and stuff well. I feel I was lacking. I feel I should have said a bit more things. I don't know. But I didn't want to give too much away. I don't know. I hope I didn't say too little. I hope I didn't say too much. I don't know.